Docks Marine opens 7 days a week from 8 to 5. Sales, rental, service, all in one place. It's at Docks Marine, 5803 Eichard Ridge Road.
I'm Ralph Mangum for the WHKY News, and this is our weekly review of some of the top crime stories we had for you during the past week. That's the week of August 5th through August 9th. Let's get started.
McDowell County Sheriff's Office says a search is underway for 41-year-old Ricky Houston after a vehicle crash, home invasion, and vehicle thefts. Houston is believed to be armed and dangerous, and anyone who sees him should not approach him. Authorities say he may be traveling in a navy blue 2016 Chevrolet Silverado 2500 truck with the wording Skyline Marine, Honda, and Bass Cat on the back glass. The North Carolina State Highway Patrol says Houston was involved in a car crash along Interstate 40 just after 10:15 p.m. on Thursday, August 1st in McDowell County. According to troopers, the car crashed into a tractor trailer near Parker Paget Road. Troopers confirmed there was a female passenger in the car, but would not release any information on her condition or identity. Deputies accused Houston of forcing his way into a home, assaulting the homeowner, then stealing a gun and vehicle. Authorities say the stolen vehicle was found on I-40 near exit 90. McDowell County deputies said they believe Houston then broke into Skyline Marine, located off of exit 90, and stole the 2016 Chevrolet Silverado truck. Houston was previously charged with shooting a Buncombe County deputy inside the magistrate's office in May 2023. He was out on bond and then taken back into custody on August 7, 2023 for 11 counts of pretrial release violations. It is unclear when Houston was released from jail after that arrest. Stay tuned for updates at WHKY.com. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY. A Lenoir man is charged with larceny and breaking and entering. 64-year-old Samuel Dean Billings of Doug Hill Road in Lenoir was arrested on Friday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with 10 felonies, 2 counts each of breaking and entering, larceny after breaking and entering, possession of stolen property, and conspiracy. He was also charged with felony possession of burglary tools and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Billings was jailed under $300,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. He is scheduled to appear in district court on August 5th and 15th. A man has been arrested for breaking and entering and conspiracy. 70-year-old David Lee Barlow of Doug Hill Road in Lenoir was arrested on Friday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with felony counts of conspiracy, possession of stolen goods, breaking and entering, and larceny after breaking and entering. Barlow was jailed under $250,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. He was scheduled for district court on August 5th. And a West Virginia man charged with a fugitive extradition. 53-year-old Thomas Lee Dunn of Princeton, West Virginia, was arrested on Friday by Lenoir police officers. He was charged on a fugitive extradition to another state. Dunn was wanted in Virginia on a felony probation violation. He was jailed under $150,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. Dunn is scheduled to appear in district court on Wednesday, August 7th. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
A suspect arrested over the weekend by Highway Patrol faces multiple forgery counts filed in Catawba County. The suspect was placed in jail in Newton without bond as he awaited a first court appearance. 20-year-old Euron Keyshawn Rozier Nash of Hickory was arrested Sunday by troopers with the North Carolina State Highway Patrol. He's charged with financial card forgery, forgery of an instrument, identity theft, possession with intent to manufacture fraudulent ID, misdemeanor flee to elude arrest, and traffic counts. Nash was jailed in the Catawba County Detention Facility without bond as he awaited a Monday district court appearance. 29-year-old Darche Charmaine Horton of Northwest Arlington Circle in Lenoir was arrested Sunday by Hickory police. She's charged with felony larceny. We recently reported here on WHKY on the late July arrest of Horton in Caldwell County for possession of cocaine. Following Sunday's arrest, Horton was confined in the Catawba County Detention Facility without bond as she awaited a Monday district court date. The next suspect is a Maiden resident who was arrested by Maiden police on charges including burglary. 24-year-old Treston Dakota Helms of Claude Drive in Maiden was arrested Saturday by Maiden police. He's charged with first-degree burglary, communicating threats, and domestic criminal trespass. Helms was incarcerated in the Catawba County Detention Facility without bond, pending a Monday district court date.
Up today, here's another fugitive arrest, this one involving a man wanted in Tennessee. 43-year-old Samuel Thomas Bivens of Highview Court in Claremont was arrested by Catawba County Sheriff's officers Saturday on a felony fugitive warrant. Bivens is wanted by the Sheriff's Office in Sevier County, Tennessee for a probation violation in connection with a charge listed as dangerous drugs. Following his arrest, Bivens was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility where he is being held without bond. A first appearance in district court was scheduled today in Newton.
An update has been issued on a manhunt in McDowell County. Authorities have confirmed that the suspect was killed in a car crash. Law enforcement confirms the second person killed in a wrong-way collision in Madison County this weekend was Ryan Ricky Houston, a man who had been on the run from authorities since last Thursday. The crash happened at approximately 11 p.m. Friday. The North Carolina State Highway Patrol says Houston was behind the wheel of a stolen 2019 Jaguar that crashed head-on into a Ford truck along I-26 West near exit 11. By Saturday morning, authorities identified one of those victims as former Marshall Police Chief Mike Boone, who had just recently retired from the department after more than 30 years of service. Houston had been on the run since Thursday after a series of incidents in McDowell County. Highway Patrol said a trooper clocked a vehicle speeding on I-40 eastbound near Old Fort. Due to the high speed, the vehicle gained considerable distance on the trooper, who decided not to chase. The trooper, who continued traveling east, found the vehicle involved in a collision with a tractor-trailer near Park Paget Road. The driver, now identified as Houston, fled. Authorities also confirmed that there was a female in the vehicle with Houston. The McDowell County Sheriff's Office states the female in the vehicle was 41-year-old Mallory Lauren Crisp of Asheville. The Sheriff's Office also confirms that she died from stab wounds. Shortly before midnight Thursday, the McDowell County Sheriff's Office said Houston became the suspect of a home invasion in which he assaulted the homeowner and stole a firearm and vehicle. The stolen vehicle was found a short time later on I-40 near exit 90. Houston was out on bond for attempted first-degree murder and assault on law enforcement, charges stemming from a shooting at the Buncombe County Magistrate's Office in 2023. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
38-year-old Keisha Diane Boggs of Claremont entered a guilty plea last week in Iredell County Superior Court to felony counts of trafficking methamphetamine and possession with intent to sell and deliver methamphetamine. She received a 70 to 93-month sentence. That's 5 years, 10 months to 7 years, 9 months in prison. Boggs has a number of pending charges awaiting trial in Alexander County that include felony counts of possession of a stolen motor vehicle, possession of a controlled substance on jail premises, second-degree trespass, and resisting arrest. A Superior Court date in Taylorsville is listed for September 16th. Boggs also has pending charges in Catawba County. Those charges are felony possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver Schedule II controlled substance, and misdemeanor carrying a concealed weapon. A Superior Court date to answer to those counts has been scheduled for August 19th. Boggs has multiple prior convictions listed, all in Alexander County in 2018 and 2019. She was previously convicted on charges including felony counts of possession of Schedule I and II controlled substance and breaking and entering. Following her guilty plea last week, Boggs was placed in the North Carolina Correctional Institution for Women in Raleigh. So once again, a 70 to 93-month prison sentence for Keisha Diane Boggs of Claremont. Reporting from Catawba County for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
A road hiss man is charged with probation violation and possession of methamphetamine. 57-year-old Marty Eugene Browning of Cedar Street in Road Hiss was arrested on Monday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with felony possession of methamphetamine and probation violation out of county. Browning was jailed under $27,500 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. He was scheduled to appear in district court on August 5th and August 7th.
According to federal authorities, the defendant in this case was connected to the theft of more than 1,000 cartons of cigarettes, which were valued at more than $70,000. 29-year-old Adrian Alexander Bryson of Newton was sentenced to 121 months in prison and 3 years of supervised release for a string of armed robberies. The announcement was made on Tuesday by Dina J. King, U.S. Attorney for the Western District of North Carolina. According to court documents, between October and December of 2022, Bryson planned and executed at least 9 robberies of HT Hackney delivery trucks as they were attempting to deliver cartons of cigarettes to convenience stores. During the robberies, Bryson and his co-conspirators wore masks and either displayed firearms to the delivery drivers or behaved as if they were armed. Court records show that the robbers generally knew where the higher-end tobacco products would be located on the delivery truck and stole the cartons of cigarettes that were the most valuable. In total, HT Hackney reported a loss of more than $70,800, which consisted of 1,129 cartons of cigarettes stolen during the robberies. On December 28th of 2022, Bryson was arrested in Hickory. On March 6th of 2024. Bryson pleaded guilty to Hobbs Act robbery and possession and brandishing a firearm in furtherance of a crime of violence. The Hobbs Act is a federal law prohibiting extortion or robbery by wrongful use of force or fear, or the attempt of these crimes affecting interstate or foreign commerce. Authorities in Iredell County were among the agencies involved in the investigation. As of the time I'm filing this report, Bryson was being held in the Iredell County Detention Center pending designation of a federal facility. So once again, a sentence of 121 months or 10 years, 1 month in federal prison for Adrian Alexander Bryson of Newton. And reporting from Newton, I'm Rob Eastwood, WHKY News.
Thank you, Rob. 21-year-old Felix Alexander Mejia and 18-year-old Reese Elizabeth Cano Puerto, both from the same Charlotte address, were arrested Tuesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. Mejia was charged with first-degree murder, and Cano Puerto was charged with felony accessory after the fact. At last report, no additional details were available regarding the arrest. Both suspects were placed in the Caldwell County Detention Center, Mejia without bond and Cano Puerto under a $250,000 secured bond. They were both scheduled to appear in district court today in Lenoir.
51-year-old Larry Dwayne Colvin Jr. of Lenoir was sentenced on Tuesday to 168 months or 14 years in federal prison for drug and gun offenses. The announcement was made Tuesday by Dina J. King, U.S. Attorney for the Western District of North Carolina. Among those joining her in making the announcement were Caldwell County Sheriff Alan Jones, Lenoir Police Chief Brent Phelps, and Watauga County Sheriff Len Hageman. According to court documents and court proceedings, on December 12th of 2022, law enforcement received information that Colvin was trafficking methamphetamine in Lenoir and surrounding areas. During the investigation, law enforcement arranged controlled buys during which they observed Colvin selling methamphetamine to a confidential informant, or CI. Court records show that on December 16th of 2022, law enforcement executed a search warrant at Colvin's residence in Lenoir where they seized methamphetamine and a firearm. A second firearm, an ammunition magazine, drug trafficking paraphernalia, and more than $7,400 in cash drug proceeds were seized from a vehicle parked on the property. A second search warrant was executed at another location where Colvin was using a camper as a stash house for meth. From the camper, law enforcement seized more meth, 5 handguns, 2 rifles, and a shotgun. During an interview with Colvin, the defendant told law enforcement that he also hid meth at his workplace. Law enforcement traveled there and they seized more than 4.5 kilograms of meth as well as $30,000 in cash drug proceeds from Colvin's vehicle. On October 31st of last year, Colvin pleaded guilty to possession with intent to distribute methamphetamine, distribution of methamphetamine, and possession of a firearm by a felon. He is currently in federal custody and will be transferred to the Federal Bureau of Prisons upon designation of a facility. So once again, a sentence of 168 months or 14 years for Larry Dwayne Colvin Jr. of Lenoir. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
And a Lenoir man charged with trafficking in heroin or opium. 43-year-old Thomas Ansel Burgess of Banner Place in Lenoir was arrested on Tuesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with felony counts of trafficking in heroin and opium and maintaining a vehicle or dwelling for controlled substance. Burgess was jailed under $750,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. No court date was listed. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
There are 3 suspects charged in this case. 2 of the individuals were being held in Caldwell County and 1 was being held in Charlotte. They are charged in connection to an investigation that was launched after a body was found alongside a Caldwell County roadway in late July. 21-year-old Felix Alexander Mejia and 18-year-old Reese Elizabeth Cano Puerto, both from Charlotte, were arrested and charged. Mejia was charged with 1 count of first-degree murder, and Cano Puerto was charged with accessory after the fact to first-degree murder. They were arrested for their alleged involvement in the killing of 47-year-old Jamie Alexander Bojorquez Reyes of Charlotte. Also charged was 20-year-old Rena Marbella Cano of Charlotte. She was in the custody of the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office on unrelated charges. She has an active Caldwell County warrant for accessory after the fact to first-degree murder. Bojorquez Reyes' murder was reported to the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office on July 28th. At 2 a.m. on the 28th, the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office was contacted regarding the discovery of a body. The body was found along US 321 northbound, north of Highway 268. Deputies found a male on the side of the roadway who had died from apparent gunshot wounds. Bojorquez Reyes' vehicle, a burgundy 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee, was found several hours later in Charlotte, where an attempt had been made to set the car on fire. Charlotte Mecklenburg police are working on a parallel investigation related to the burning of the vehicle. The Caldwell County Sheriff's Office, assisted by the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department and the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, conducted a joint investigation that led to criminal charges against all 3 suspects. Mejia and Cano Puerto remained in the custody of the Caldwell County Detention Center as of the time I'm filing this report. They were both scheduled to appear in court in Lenoir on Wednesday. You can get more details on this case by going to this story at our website, WHKY.com. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
The individuals depicted have been arrested but not convicted at the time of story postings. This information does not infer or imply guilt of any actions or activity other than their arrest. We make no warranty or guarantee as to the accuracy of this data. You're watching the WHKY News, where it's time now for the Crime Report. I'm Ralph Mangum. More information has been released in connection with arrests in a Caldwell County murder case. WHKY's Rob Eastwood reports.
There are 3 suspects charged in this case. 2 of the individuals were being held in Caldwell County and 1 was being held in Charlotte. They are charged in connection to an investigation that was launched after a body was found alongside a Caldwell County roadway in late July. 21-year-old Felix Alexander Mejia and 18-year-old Reese Elizabeth Cano Puerto, both from Charlotte, were arrested and charged. Mejia was charged with 1 count of first-degree murder, and Cano Puerto was charged with accessory after the fact to first-degree murder. They were arrested for their alleged involvement in the killing of 47-year-old Jamie Alexander Bojorquez Reyes of Charlotte. Also charged was 20-year-old Rena Marbella Cano of Charlotte. She was in the custody of the McDowell County Sheriff's Office on unrelated charges. She has an active Caldwell County warrant for accessory after the fact to first-degree murder. Bojorquez Reyes murder was reported to the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office on July 28th. At 2 a.m. on the 28th, the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office was contacted regarding the discovery of a body. The body was found along US 321 northbound, north of Highway 268. Deputies found a male on the side of the roadway who had died from apparent gunshot wounds. Bojorquez Reyes' vehicle, a burgundy 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee, was found several hours later in Charlotte, where an attempt had been made to set the car on fire. Charlotte-Mecklenburg police are working on a parallel investigation related to the burning of the vehicle. The Caldwell County Sheriff's Office, assisted by the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department and the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, conducted a joint investigation that led to criminal charges against all 3 suspects. Mejia and Cano Puerto remained in the custody of the Caldwell County Detention Center as of the time I'm filing this report. They were both scheduled to appear in court in Lenoir on Wednesday. You can get more details on this case by going to this story at our website, WHKY.com. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
Thank you, Rob. 54-year-old Eric Donnell Cherry of Joe Rankin Road in Mount Ulla has been arrested by Iredell County Sheriff's officers on felony counts of second-degree arson, cruelty to animals, 6 counts, and arson or other unlawful burning resulting in serious injury to a firefighter or emergency medical technician. He was charged in connection with an August 1st fire at an address on Indian Springs Drive in Mooresville. Multiple fire departments responded to the scene, and the Iredell County Fire Marshal's office was called in to investigate the cause of the fire. Their investigation determined that the fire had been intentionally set. The sheriff's office was called in to assist with a criminal investigation. 2 firefighters were injured while attempting to extinguish the fire. 1 was transported to a local hospital for treatment. Both are expected to recover from their injuries. 6 family pets were found deceased at the scene due to the fire. Investigators learned that a report was filed on July 30th involving Eric Donnell Cherry. Cherry had reportedly broken a window at the residence due to a domestic dispute with his girlfriend. Deputies overheard a telephone conversation in which Cherry made threats against the victim. Cherry was subsequently arrested at his residence. Wednesday, warrants were issued for Cherry's arrest. The suspect, who was already in custody in the Iredell County Detention Center, was denied bond on the most recent charges. Cherry will appear in district court on August 28th. He'll also appear in Superior Court on September 3rd as an habitual felon and on felony drug charges. Another district court date was set for September 12th for communicating threats and attempted breaking and entering. 48-year-old Jose Manuel Vega Gonzalez of 2nd Avenue Southeast in Hickory now faces 5 additional felony counts of second and third degree sexual exploitation of a minor. He was initially arrested by Hickory police on July 31st on 1 count each of the same charges. The latest charges were filed on August 1st at the Catawba County Detention Facility. Vega Gonzalez remains in jail, where he was initially given a $25,000 bond. He's now being held without bond. A district court appearance on all charges was set for August 20th in Newton. WHKY's Ariana Mack checks in now from Caldwell County as 1 suspect faces charges for indecent liberties.
A man has been charged with auto larceny and possession of controlled substance. 43-year-old Joshua Lee Parsons of Wilkie Court in Granite Falls was arrested on Wednesday, August 7th by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with felony counts of larceny, possession, He was charged with felony counts of auto larceny, possession of a stolen motor vehicle, and possession of Schedule II controlled substance. Parsons was jailed under no bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court date was scheduled for August 8th. And a Granite Falls man charged with indecent liberties with a child. 58-year-old Irene Flores of Steerwalt Drive in Granite Falls was arrested on Wednesday, August 7th by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. She was charged with one felony count, indecent liberties with a child. Flores was jailed under a $100,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. She was scheduled to appear in district court on August 8th. According to the North Carolina Sex Offender and Public Protection Registry, North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, Flores has no previous record in North Carolina. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
We have previously reported on this suspect here on WHKY. He faces charges in multiple jurisdictions here in North Carolina, including Catawba County. He's also charged in a South Carolina county. The suspect was arrested once again following an investigation that resulted in new charges. As of the time I'm filing this report, he is not listed as an inmate in Lincoln County. 30-year-old Maxwell Sidney Fletcher of Mount Holly has been arrested again by the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office. He was charged with felony counts of second-degree forcible sex offense and crime against nature. Fletcher had previously been charged in Catawba and Lincoln counties, along with Horry County, South Carolina. The previously filed charges included statutory sex offense with a child 15 years old or younger. On May 15th of this year, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office Major Crimes Unit began an investigation into sexual assault allegations against Fletcher. The suspect was a soccer coach at East Lincoln High School, a teacher at W.C. Friday School in Gaston County, and was a coach for the Dry Pond Travel Baseball League out of Denver, North Carolina. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office Major Crime Unit led the investigation that resulted in Mr. Fletcher being charged in Lincoln County, in Catawba County by the Catawba County Sheriff's Office, and in Horry County, South Carolina by the Horry County Police Department. As a result of the investigation, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office Major Crime Unit identified another victim in Lincoln County and began investigating alleged sexual assault allegations involving an adult. This portion of the investigation was completed July 31st, and Fletcher was arrested again. No upcoming court dates were listed. The investigation is continuing. If you have any information for authorities, call 855-455-6762 or 704-732-9050. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
During a recent session of Iredell County Superior Court, 58-year-old Albert Ryan Stewart pleaded guilty to 2 counts of trafficking in opium, felony possession of Schedule II controlled substance, and to being an habitual felon. He was sentenced to 90 to 120 months, 7 years, 6 months to 10 years in prison, and was ordered to pay a $100,000 fine. As WHKY previously reported, after receiving complaints of illegal drug activity, Mooresville Police Department Narcotics Unit detectives conducted an investigation that resulted in the execution of a search warrant on a residence in the 400 block of North Academy Street. While executing the search warrant on August 23, 2023, detectives seized approximately 30 grams of raw fentanyl, 161 fentanyl pills, which were made to look like oxycodone pills, 14 lorazepam pills, 5 oxycodone pills, a small amount of cocaine, and $1,320 cash, police said. Albert Ryan Stewart was arrested and charged with multiple offenses, including 3 counts apiece of trafficking opiates and possession with intent to sell or distribute a Schedule II controlled substance, and 1 felony count of possession of cocaine. The Mooresville Police Department says Stewart has an extensive criminal history dating back to 1987 that includes numerous convictions for narcotics-related offenses. Stewart is currently serving his sentence at Piedmont Correctional Institute in Salisbury. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY. A guilty plea was entered in an Alexander County statutory rape case. 43-year-old Carol Henry Maloney of the Cleveland County town of Grover, North Carolina, will serve 180 to 276 months, 15 to 23 years in state prison after entering a guilty plea to 5 counts of statutory rape in Alexander County. The plea was entered during a July session of Superior Court. Following an investigation, Alexander County deputies arrested Maloney in Cleveland County on November 2nd, 2022. He was initially charged with felony statutory rape of a child 15 or younger and 5 counts of sexual activity by a substitute parent. Maloney will be required to register as a sex offender upon his release and has a no-contact order with the victim. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
We have previously reported on the case involving this defendant here on WHKY. He was arrested earlier this year. 22-year-old Michael Dakota Richardson of Mooresville pleaded guilty pursuant to Alford in Iredell County Superior Court to 10 counts of second-degree sexual exploitation of a child. An Alford plea is a guilty plea in which a defendant maintains their innocence but admits that the prosecution's evidence would likely result in a guilty verdict if brought to trial. Richardson was given 3 consecutive sentences of 19 to 83 months in prison, along with 60 months of post-release supervision on each count. The defendant was also ordered to register as a sex offender. On January 21st of this year, Mooresville police detectives received a tip about inappropriate conduct on social media sites by an adult male, and they began an investigation. The tip indicated that the suspect was using social media sites to attempt to meet with minors for sexual intercourse. The suspect was identified as Richardson. When confronted by detectives, Richardson admitted he had been trying to arrange a meeting with a minor for the purposes indicated in the information received by police. He was arrested and charged with a solicitation count. As part of the investigation, evidence was seized from Richardson's home and examined by detectives. Upon examination, numerous items showing explicit child pornography were found on electronic devices belonging to Richardson. Detectives obtained warrants charging Richardson with 20 more exploitation counts, and he was arrested a second time at his home on January 23rd of this year. As of the time I'm filing this report, Richardson is being held in the Iredell County Detention Center. So once again, 3 consecutive 19 to 83-month prison sentences for Michael Dakota Richardson of Mooresville. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
And those were just a few of the crime stories we had for you during the week of August 5th through August 9. Our weekly recap is posted every Saturday at WHKY.com and on our YouTube channel, along with all the rest of the WHKY news. I'm Ralph Mangum, and I thank you for watching.